As if there aren't already enough egotistical and deluded assholes out there. We've got people who literally think that they're God's gift. You know, they think they're Jesus. We just have to get that out there. Now, depending on your perspective, this can either be pretty hilarious or downright horrifying. I'm at the bridge, and in this video, we'll be talking about 5 people who think that they're Jesus. The guy's name is Brian Leonard Golightly, guy from Queensland, Australia, who, just like everyone else on this list, thinks that he's Jesus. But to the twist, he has proof, or so he claims. He thinks that his face is on the Shroud of Turin, and in order to prove this, he took some pictures of it from a shitty History Channel documentary, put it over his face. I think he kept doing that until he's like, whoa, this looks like me. That's what he said, with the credibility of a 10-year-old child who believes that he has superpowers. He also claims that the previous Pope Benedict, basically said in a letter, yeah man, you're Jesus, congrats. And you know, cults are one of those fun things that just the whole family can enjoy. Because apparently he's got like this huge following of people who he preaches to. And to put the icing on the cake, he thinks that Pope Francis is the Antichrist and has interfered with Pope Benedict's prophecy that Mr. Golightly is Jesus, the second coming. He foiled the revelation. At least he might have some good bedside manner. He's known as the Comforter. In Siberia, down a dirt road, in the middle of the Siberian taiga forest, is this little slice of paradise called Petropavlovka, which sounds like an interesting brand of vodka. It's home of the Church of the Last Testament, which has about 5,000 followers who are there and have kind of been there since the 90s. In a past life in the 80s, his name was Sergei something, middle name, Tavo. Sergei was Sergei until the 90s when he had a revelation, something that he didn't totally make up, that his word is the word of God. Totally trustworthy source, right? Kind of reminds me of that guy named Raoul, that Raolism thing. He was driving down the road and the alien spoke to him. Well, regardless of all those things, almost everything that this guy has said has been written down in a totally never-ending Last Testament. And when they told him to turn over a new leaf with his life, I'm pretty sure that this wasn't what they meant. So this guy in our entry, his name is Laszlo Toth, best known for hating on Michelangelo. Not exactly true. He was born in Hungary in the year 1938, where later in life he went to earn his degree in geology, which probably wasn't the best career choice for him, because eventually he moved on to Australia, where they didn't recognize his degree in geology. It was kind of a waste. He ended up working at a soap factory, and then he went to Italy, where he tried to meet Pope Paul VI, which it didn't work out that way. He then smashed Michelangelo's Pieta with a hammer 17 times. He knocked off its arm and the nose. And he exclaimed that, "I am Jesus Christ, risen from the dead." No, I guess that wasn't that exciting. It's like he was trying to express some deep-seated mommy issues, because he thought he was Jesus, so he was like, "Mom, why'd you do this?" The statue, calm down. And no one knows what happened to him. He got arrested, obviously, and then they determined that he was mentally ill, and afterwards he got deported back to Australia, where he was not apprehended. So who knows what happened. Fun guy. Let's put another face on this group of deluded individuals who believe that they're Jesus, or they make the claim that they are. And this is the kind that makes moolah. You know, that hard cash that we all love. Meet Apollo Quiboloi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He's a guy in the Philippines who is the founder of a restorationist church called the Kingdom of Jesus Christ. He hasn't really come out and specifically said, yeah, I'm Jesus. Appointed Son of God is pretty close to saying I'm Jesus. And they've got about 4 million people in their kingdom. 4 million. And supposedly 2 million people abroad. Which is kind of scary because that's almost like a small army. And I don't think there's anything weird happening with that guy, but there is. Because there always is, isn't there? When you get that big, something always weird happens. He's been sued by a former member for allegedly brainwashing her daughter and keeping her against her will. In the 2010 presidential elections in the Philippines, he said that this guy, with the last name Teodoro, would be the next president, but it didn't happen because he knows he's full of shit. He claimed that because his prophecy didn't come true, the votes are fake. It's pretty funny because the guy got 4 million votes, so that might explain how he got 4 million votes. It's 4 million of them. He's quoted with such memorable words. I myself am a little disturbed with the reports of fraud and cheating in the last elections. Even I'm asking, where did the votes of the kingdom go? So there was this guy a few years back, I think it was like 6 years or something, that happened to kill a few cops. His name happened to be Maurice+Clemmons, who had a very long track record of committing criminal acts, crimes, robberies, stuff like that. And he spent a pretty big majority of his life in jail. And then when he got out, he went to Washington State, and he did well for a little bit. And then things started getting a little out of hand. He raped his 12-year-old daughter. And then when he was jailed, he somehow got out of jail. Somehow. He was supposed to have been held without bail, but somehow it was changed and he got out. They used the house as collateral. It's like $190,000. Afterwards began his descent into madness. Clemmons, he started having these weird beliefs about himself, such as him being the Messiah, his wife being Eve, and even this really weird, oddly specific one of having to wake up at 4 in the morning and have everyone in his family dressed at 4 a.m. because it's God's number. And he also thought he could fly and that he'd save the world. He then took a road trip to the state of New York to go to Bishop E. Bernard Jordan Zoe's Ministries Church to talk to him. And it was around that time that he was recorded in a video saying that he's Jesus Christ. He talked to the pastor in some respect or regards, and the guy pretty much said, if you need help, get help. And he didn't get help. And eventually he did though. And then he was obviously arrested because he was supposed to be not running around the country. They said that he was sane and fit for trial. Afterwards, for some unknown reason, they let him out. Roaming the streets, he went to a coffee shop and killed 4 police officers. And at the end of all of this, he's dead. This story is actually a pretty interesting read. You can read about it in the description below. Just a side of things of what can happen when madness turns into violence. Sometimes people when they're mentally ill, they do things like that. Like, they'll be alright. And then sometimes they hurt people. And that's why people have the stigma of people who are mentally ill that you should stay away from them. Some people, I don't even actually believe that all of the people on this list necessarily believe that they're actually Jesus. One in particular is probably saying it because he wants that cold hard cash. just the way things go. If you like this video, leave a like. If you have something that you'd like to say, go ahead and leave a comment below. You can subscribe to see more content. You can like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter. Till next time, I'm at the bridge. Thanks for watching. Cares aplenty.